Judy Shipman is our actual official that is designated as our public information officer. A lot of times we can get requests that require a lot of man hours to fulfill. It takes a lot of Judy's time, a lot of Doug's time, and the process we have to go through to process those open records requests, and talked about possibly the need in the future or sometime of adding a position that would handle these open records requests to relieve some of the time off our current staff that are having to handle these job duties.
Do you have any idea how many hours a week?
I don't know. Judy ran me a report. We had since August of 2008 up until September 14th, I believe, the report, we had received approximately 76 open records requests, which averages out to about one a week. And I say approximately because some of the requests that you get, one email will have 3 different things they're requesting, but also in those 3 different things there could be 9 parts to the request. And so once we get an open records request, some of them can be completed in as little as half an hour, and others going to take upwards of 20 to 30 hours to complete. Once we get an open records request, first of all, we have to sit down and determine where those documents are stored. Then we have to determine how the best way to retrieve the requested documents. A lot of times that may be at the campus or even teacher level where we have to retrieve those documents. And then after those documents are retrieved, we have to determine which ones meet the scope of the request. And then often, especially email, many of them can be duplicate documents, and we have to read through and weed those out. When I say duplicate documents, if we're searching for one particular thing that's requested, that may have been sent to everybody in the district, so it tags that 300 times. So you have to read through one email 300 times to pull out all the duplicate tagged emails. Then we have to go through the emails that are not emails, or just all the information that meets that request, and redact all the personal information of the students, information that can't be released under FERPA, and most of the time we have to contact the attorney to see what can and can't be released. Then many times we have to get an AG opinion on if that information can or cannot be released, and then finally the information is released. So as I said, these requests, some can take as little as a half an hour. Some can take, we've had them take over 30 hours before. It just depends on the scope of the request, on how many man hours it takes to complete.
Is there any way you can put a number as cost to the district of what we're talking about here?
I don't know if you can put a dollar per dollar cost. The Attorney General puts out information Judy has on what can be charged, as far as the request. You can charge for the copies the district produces. You can charge for the manipulation of data, and Judy has a better understanding of that maybe than I do. What are the allowable charges?
Actually, if it's 50 pages or less, you can only charge like 10 cents a page, but if you're producing a diskette, it's $1, a CD is $1, the DVD is $1, but they also talk about a programmer rate, but we really don't have anybody that does any programming, but there's a labor cost that's $15 an hour.
15 an hour.
And that's,
okay.
It's just the labor charge includes the actual time to locate, compile, manipulate data, and reproduce the requested information. And you can also put an overhead charge, possibly, and get some indirect costs with that. But
What would that, what is the direct cost?
it's says here, the overhead charge would cover such costs as depreciation of capital assets, rent, maintenance and repair, utilities and administrative overhead. And that's figured at like 20% of the labor charge is how you arrive at the overhead amount.
20% of $15 per hour. But 15 is the maximum.
It's $28.50 for programming charges, but you can only charge, which like I said, we don't really have anybody to do programming. So actually the $15 an hour is the only amount that we can charge.